understanding inheritance in Pega. Understanding inheritance in Pega. This is what we are going to do now. See, whenever you just go ahead and look at the classes created when we create a new application. When we create a new application, these are the classes created. Other than these three, there are a number of classes. I'm not going to bother about those now. I'll tell you later. Now, these classes are created. How many classes are these? 3 classes. First class name is HANO. Second class name is HANO Hanover. First one is organization class. I have already told you. Top level class. This one is namespace implementation. And the last one is this one. This is called class group. This is work class. Now, this is an independent class as of now from the understanding. Now, this class is created concatenated to the previous class. Second class is created concatenated to previous class. Third class is created concatenated to second class. Second class already in concatenation with the first class. This is how Pega has created. Why it has created, we are going to understand. Now, see, before we understand that, what is the purpose of these classes? So, if you consider, I have already shown you yesterday, right? If you right click on this and go to definition, you should see the type of the class. What is the type of the class here for work is concrete. Means your business transactions will be executed under the work class. This is what I have already told you. If you go to the definition of second level implementation namespace class and the top level class, what are the types of classes that we have seen? Abstract classes we have already seen. Suppose if you want me to show now, again I will show you. These are abstract classes, right? Abstract classes. First one, as you go, it is abstract class. Remaining parameters I am not going to talk about now. Only that parameter, abstract or concrete, abstract. Now, your top level and namespace level, application level, implementation level are abstract classes, and the bottom work class is concrete. Means your business transactions will get initiated at the work level and be processed. While doing this, it can reuse the components which are created in Hanover, right, top level. So this is the diagram, not this. Let me create a new diagram. So this is the one which is Hano. Just give me 1 minute. So here you go, HANO, and I am writing independently. Hanover I, and this one is work, right? Now there is a connection between these two classes. When connection happens, this is Hanover I, Hano, and this one is Hanover I, work. See, now this is represented like a tree diagram. If you just make it like a horizontal, it will be a hyphen symbol. That is what you need to understand. Now, what is the purpose of this hyphen? This hyphen represents inheritance, relation, inheritance between the classes. Now, this is also inheritance. That means Hanover I is inherited from Hano, and work is inherited from Hanover I. That in turn inheriting from Hano. So that means for the Hanover I class, Hano is parent, correct? For work class, the second level class is parent. Also, the first level class is also parent to work class. Is that true or not? That is true because parent of parent is parent. Now, automatically PRPC will identify the inheritance by its class name itself. By its class name, PRPC is going to identify the inheritance parent classes. How it will identify? With respect to the current class, the previous class which is available before the hyphen is parent to the current class. The previous class which is available before the hyphen to the second level class is the parent of second level. That is how PRPC is going to identify the parent classes when it comes to class name. Now this class name is a pattern of multiple classes separated by a hyphen. It's a pattern of multiple classes separated by hyphen. So using this, it will identify the inheritance parent classes. So this is called pattern inheritance. Pattern inheritance. Pattern inheritance means a class name separated by multiple classes separated by a pattern of hyphen symbol will become pattern parents to the current class. If the current class is work class, pattern parent is this one. If the current class is Hanover I, pattern parent is Hano. So also Hano is become parent to work class because it is there in the inheritance hierarchy of the classes. So this is called pattern inheritance. So understanding inheritance in Pega, two types of inheritance. Two types of inheritance. One is direct inheritance. Second one is pattern inheritance. Pattern inheritance. See, direct inheritance I'll tell you in some time. Pattern inheritance. So first, let's go ahead with this identifies the parent classes of current class by its class name, that is by its class name, that is for work class. What is the work class? This is the work class. For work class, the pattern parent is, what is the pattern parent? Pattern parent is this one. This is pattern parent. So similarly, for this class, for the class Hanover I, pattern parent is, this is the pattern parent. Okay, this is clear, makes sense everyone. Now, following the pattern inheritance, following the pattern inheritance, PRPC utilizes the rules from org class and implementation namespace classes functionalities into work class, by means of what? Pattern inheritance. Your batch is 562 now, 561. Okay, so this makes sense everyone. So this is how pattern inheritance will be used in order to get the properties of previous class into current class. PRPC will follow pattern inheritance. It is pretty straightforward, simple by its class name. Suppose you have A dash B dash C. What is the parent of C? A dash B. B and should not say B. A dash B. For B, what is the parent? A. So A is also parent to C by pattern inheritance. This is pattern inheritance. So the another type of inheritance is there. Are you clear, everyone?
Harsha, I have one question. Like we
Yes.
are saying, we are going from organization, then implementation, then work. So, like just one question. Like, is framework is involved in any of these in inheritance?
Framework is?
Framework, like framework class.
As of now, I didn't talk anything about framework classes. I didn't talk anything about framework classes as of now. I'll come to that framework classes later. As of now, I didn't say anything. Okay, now?
Okay.
I'll come to framework in some time. Understanding inheritance. Now, we are going to see that. Now, next one is direct inheritance. Direct inheritance. See, actually, we thought of using OOTP rules which are available in Pega, right? There are OOTP functionalities already available in Pega. When we are processing our application functionalities or designing our application, it should use from OOTP class also. But as far as whatever that we have seen, It is not using anything from OODB. It is using from user created class only. The classes which have created from while we create application which have been created only from user classes, we have seen it is using some of the components. But OODB components, how it will be using, because inheritance already parent classes are there. Those are our classes only. Now, if you open the class rule form, let me open the class rule form. Direct inheritance parent classes are being mentioned in a drop down. If you open the class rule form and scroll down, here you see parent class directed. Parent class directed. So when we open the class rule form, we can see at the bottom the parent class, the direct parent class. Now look at here. So if you open the class rule form, class group rule form and scroll down, direct parent. What is the direct parent of class group? So by default, when the class group is created, direct parent is selected as direct parent class is selected as, how it is selected? Work dash cover dash. I don't know what is work dash cover dash. No need to bother as of now. But we know some of the predefined classes. Did we discuss any predefined class names? There are predefined classes available in Pega. Let me give you some idea. It is there in the notes, is there in the website. See, in PRPC, all the functionalities are created available in some predefined classes. Out of those, there are topmost 13 classes. Like you have base class, @base class. This is the topmost class of every class in Pega. Means any class you create, any class that is already available in Pega are children of this class, base class. It is the topmost class everywhere in Pega. What is the topmost class in Java and .NET? Topmost class in Java. What is the topmost class in Java?
Object.
What is the topmost class in .NET? Object. System rada. Okay, base class. And now another one is work dash and data dash. And what else? Like this, code dash, rule dash, CMIS dash, index dash,
assign dash,
assign dash,
int dash,
like this. Topmost 13 classes are there. Topmost 13 means it's not only having 13. Under these classes there can be a number of classes. Suppose you see work dash, cover dash. Now cover dash is the child of work dash. That is how the naming convention. By what inheritance? By pattern inheritance. That is how it is designed. Okay. Now whenever we create a class group, PRPC is taking the direct parent class as work dash, cover dash. It is an OODB class. All top level OODB classes, whatever that you see in Pega, are abstract classes. Abstract class name must end with hyphen up to Pega 6 environment. Again, that is not applicable to base class. If you see, it doesn't have. It has @ beginning. It doesn't have hyphen at the end. So from Pega 7 onwards, this convention has been deprecated. The hyphen is not required even it is abstract class if you are creating. But in before versions of 6 and before, if you are creating abstract class, it must end with hyphen. Otherwise, PRPC will treat that as a concrete. Okay, now that is no more required. Now, whenever we create a class group, work dash, cover dash, OODB is being taken. So this is how, through direct inheritance, PRPC is using OODB rules which are available in OODB classes. Through pattern inheritance, PRPC is utilizing the components which we have defined in our own classes. Through direct inheritance, PRPC is trying to use the built-in features which are available in built-in classes of Pega. So now I think like I don't want this. I want some other class. I will keep not work dash, cover dash. I am going to keep work dash. So let's save this. Is it accepting or not? It will accept. Nothing is problem. It is accepting. I will remove this. I'll make it assign dash. If you click the down arrow, it should be available. Assign dash is there, but it is not showing in the problem. Assign dash something. Otherwise, you choose index dash. Why it is not showing this drop down? I don't know. code dash top level class. It is not showing. No problem. Even though it is not showing, save this. Is it saving? It is not allowing. Instead of without allowing, it is giving a message. What is the message? You have to read it and tell me what is the meaning of this. Class group. That means your work class is a class group. Should derive or inherit from work dash or any of its subclasses. Any of the subclasses of work dash or work dash, it should be inherited from. Subclasses mean child classes. Any of these, this is acceptable. Other than this, nothing else is acceptable. If you place any other class, it will not accept. That is how system will behave. Now tell me, what is the meaning of this statement? So your class group should have a parent class, which always should be, it's not work class, work dash or subclasses of work dash. Otherwise, it will not save, because the reason is, when you perform the transactions within the work class only will be performing. While you are performing the transactions, OOTP rules from work class will be used. Maybe you are not directly using, but PRPC will internally use. I'll tell you with the same. I'll tell you in comparison with C language. Suppose C language, I have written a program. I'm using printf. I got an error message. Error message is undefined function printf. This is the error message I got. What is the reason? Tell me the solution first of all. Suppose if it is Java, you have to import the respective jars header packages. If it is .NET, you have to use the respective namespaces. If it is C language, you have to include the respective header files. If you are not including the header file and using some of the functions of header file, either with your knowledge or without your knowledge, you are using something, system will not allow, because the features should be inherited from the predefined. This is how inheritance is used in C language also. Okay, should be inherited from something OOTP which you have to use it. Means you have to inherit it by including the header files while you are executing it. It will look for that. Similarly, while we are performing the transactions in work class, PRPC internally uses some of the work class components. Some of the work class components for processing your transactions, generating that ID and all automatically been done by using OOTP features only. That's why PRPC is restricting you. Your work class when you create, which is a class group, it must be inherited from what? Work dash or children of work dash is also okay, or child of work dash is also okay. Work dash cover dash is child of. See, if it is deriving from work dash cover dash, does it mean it is also inheriting from work dash? A parent of parent, right? So now this is acceptable or not? So like this, PRPC has a restriction on the class group for direct parent class. Now your direct parent class is specified in the class group rule form, where under the drop down parent class directed, under the drop down parent class directed, and for class group direct parent must be, what is the direct parent? Must be work dash OOTP class or subclass or child classes. Child classes of work dash is also fine. Is also fine. This is clear? Okay, next. Next is, let me close this.
Harsha, quick question.
Yes.
So here we have this option for find by name, like to.
I will talk about it. See, something if I am not saying now, that will be covered later. It will not be relieved because it is too early to learn find by name first pattern. I will tell you, but you will not understand. So practically, if I show you, you will clearly get it. Okay, we'll come to that find by name first pattern. Okay, this is clear, everyone. So what is pattern inheritance? What is direct inheritance? Another point which I want to tell you is, in a direct inheritance, you cannot specify more than one class. Meaning that, where is this window? Suppose I wanted to give here work dash, cover dash or something, comma, another class. Save this. It is not acceptable. Means direct inheritance, you can specify how many parent classes? One and only one class should be specified in the direct parent. Also, this direct inheritance is mandatory. I don't want to specify anything. Is it accepting? No. So that means it's a mandatory field. That mandatory is not shown here, but internally it is expecting the value to be filled. That value again has a constraint applied, condition applied. That should be work dash or any of the child classes of work dash is also fine. So by default it has work dash cover dash. I am replacing the same. So your class group in a direct inheritance, the parent class you specify is only one class. This is clear, everyone? So up to this implementation level, let's jump on to framework classes. Okay, everyone clear so far? So simply pattern inheritance is by class name separated by pattern of hyphen symbol. Current class, before classes to current class are pattern parent classes in the pattern inheritance. Parent classes to current class by pattern inheritance. Direct inheritance means if you go to class rule form, parent class is specified there, that is direct parent. This is direct parent, those are pattern parents. For class group, having direct parent, mentioning direct parent, there is a restriction. What is the restriction? It must be work dash or subclass of work dash because it internally uses work dash components for its transactional processing. Everyone clear?
I have a quick question on the class group.
Yeah, please.
So we see that what is a class group as opposed to just a class?
Yeah, as of now, I didn't tell you anything about class group. But as a learner understanding, I told you class group is like combination of three classes where it is inheriting from per dash. Now I'll write on the functional definition again. I'm going to write. I'm not going to write technical definition, which will not be clear if you are learning now. Class group, it is combination of 0 or more abstract classes. Is it true? Suppose I don't have any abstract in this, only one concrete class. I can make it a class group also, no problem. 0 or more abstract classes. And first concrete class. What do you mean by first concrete class? Under this concrete class, I can create another concrete class. But I am not doing that. First concrete class, which must be inherited from what?
One of those.
Which must be directly inherited from. Directly inherited from ODB class. What is that? Work dash or child classes of work dash. If you look at the error message, also same we got. Class group must. It is not saying concrete class must inherit. Look at here the error again. Where is it? It is not saying concrete class should inherit from work dash or any subclasses. It is saying class group should inherit. That means all concrete class is not required to inherit from work dash. We will come to that later. Class group only should be inherited from class group work dash. Now if you open the class group rule form, it is a concrete class. Here is an option selected. This is a class group. ODB is selected. I did not select it. So now a class, if it has to become a class group, suppose if you go to abstract, do you have that option? So if you want to make it a class group, first of all, it should be concrete. There are other options also, we'll discuss later. If it has to be class group, first condition is it should be a concrete class. Then only you have that option. If it is a class group, it must be inherited from ODB class, work dash or children of work dash also. Fine. Direct inheritance. Now it makes, this is functional definition. Technically, again, I'll tell you. That now this makes sense functionally. Are you clear?
Clear. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, maybe if you have already learned, you would have learned something like this. It is an instance class of work object, something like that, right? I'll come to that later, not now.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, now.
Harsha, again, what is the difference between direct and pattern?
What is the difference between direct inheritance and pattern inheritance? That is the question being asked. What is the difference between direct and pattern? Direct inheritance parent means it will be specified in the class rule form. Pattern inheritance parents are specified in class name. Direct inheritance is mandatory, but not pattern inheritance. I will tell you, she is asking, right? Find by name first pattern checkbox. That is what it is going to make mandatory or not mandatory, but that will take some time. Don't go with that. As of now, direct inheritance is mandatory, pattern is not mandatory. How to avoid pattern also we will see later. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So now, let's look at framework class group. Framework application classes. Okay. Framework classes. Now, see, we have already discussed about this, right? Framework application purpose is to hold the reusable components across different implementations. That means anything you create in framework can be used in different implementations. When you create implementation application on top of framework application, it is not only applications to be built on top, also classes should be available. See, your framework application, there are some functionalities defined. If you want to define the functionalities, should it have classes? So now look at here on the screen. This is framework application and this is IMPL1 and IMPL2. So the functionalities of framework will be created in framework classes, right? Class 1. So here you have function 1, function 2. Simply to understand, function means here you understand like functionality. Now these I want to use in implementation. Implementations applications are already created on top of framework. Only having the application created on top of application will not give you functionalities being inherited. Also here you need a class. You need a class called class 2, and let's say this is implementation 2, right? 2. This is implementation 2, and here class 3. Now implementation 1, implementation 2 are created on top of framework. It doesn't mean the classes of implementation 1 and 2 can directly use everything in framework. Also, relation should be defined between classes. Classes also should be inherited. Apart from this, there is something else called rule set. I'll tell you later. Now, this is inheritance relation. So now your implementation application can use the components in framework when implementation classes derives from framework classes. Otherwise, it cannot use. Even though it is created on top of the application, it cannot use because application maintains some of the components. Application level components may be accessible, but application inside classes components are there, it will not be accessible. If that has to be done, the classes also should be derived from classes. Okay, this point is clear, everyone? So framework application holds its functionalities in its classes. Next point is the implementation applications which are created on top of framework can reuse the functionalities framework when the implementation classes derives or inherits. You can say inherits from framework classes. Okay, then only it is possible. Otherwise, now coming to framework application, now let me show you. Without going to the application also you can access, because implementation is created on top of how to access framework application. Just Designer Studio. This is framework, right? Hanover Insurance framework. I think it is not available. I'll show you how to access. I will show you application access later. How to access framework classes. I'll show you classes as of now. Application requires access group to be added in the operator profile and all. Because you don't know access group, I'll tell you later. Now, if you want to access the framework classes, you can go here. Up to here, you backspace. And you see here, click the down arrow, you see FW is there. So from FW onwards, your framework class is started. FW is part of framework. And let me show you this way, you will understand better. Admin @ Hanover. This is framework login, right? Once I've shown here, I'll go back there again so that you'll have better idea. When I log in, I logged into framework application, go to application explorer. What are the framework classes? Hano, FW, Hanover, I work. This is framework class group again. How many classes are there here? 4 classes. What is the pattern parent of work class? Hano, FW, Hanover 1. What is the pattern parent of Hanover 1? Hanover I? Hano, FW. For FW, Hano. So if you look at here, I'm not going to give the screenshots of all this. You can see. Just hang on. And here you go. What is that? Inheritance, right? So this is framework level class layer. Framework level class group. This is base framework. This is called as, and this is called org framework. This is again top level class. Top level class for framework classes and implementation classes is same or different? Same, right? Now, so let's go back here. Admin1 @hanover.com, password is roles. So now look at here. From here itself how to access, I'll show you. So you backspace up to here and then simply choose FW is there. FW after you have Hanover right work. It is there. You choose this. Now these are the framework classes. Now these are the framework classes. Let me open the definition of this. See, this is the concrete class, which is a class group. Again, see, your framework application has one class group. Your implementation application has another class group. So that means framework level also executable. Implementation level also, it is executable. Leave about this execution concept later, we'll see. Now let's talk about classes. See, remaining 3 classes are abstract or concrete. So now this is class group, means before class group classes are abstract classes. First concrete class is the one which is class group. Now this class group should derive from which class? Tell me, you have to tell me. Now this class group should derive from which class? It must derive from which class? Work dash or children of work dash is fine. Now if you see, by default PRPC is deriving framework class group from, by default PRPC is deriving framework class group from where? Work dash cover dash. Implementation class group from work dash cover dash only. Let me draw this diagram. Okay, just let it make some sense in the class names. With respect to class names, I'll draw this. Now this is the one, and this. Okay, I'm sorry, Hanga. So here you go. Hano. Not here. Here. Hano. Hano. What is it? What is the other one? Hanover I work. This is what? IMPL class group, right? Now this one is Hano FW Hanover I work. This is what? FW class group, framework class group, and the other one here is, this is implementation class group. This is how it is created. What is the parent class of these 2 classes? Work dash. Here you go. Work dash cover dash, right? Now the parent class of these 2 is work dash, and each of these have its own pattern inheritance. Now next parent class of work dash cover dash is work dash. If you want to open and see, you can open and see. And what is the parent class of work dash? You need to tell me.
Base
Base class. This is the structure. @base class is the top level class. parent class of work dash. Now this is how it is created by default when we create the application. My question here is, now your implementation from the OOTP creation, can implementation application access the roles which are created in framework application or not? Yes or no? How come it is yes? How come it is yes? No. How come it is no? See, I will create some of the rules in this class. I want to use those rules, inherit those rules into work class. Is it directly through inheritance? Is it possible or not possible? It is not possible. Why? Because there is no relation between these two. There is no relation between these two is implemented. The default wizard what we have run to create an application, it has created implementation class group, framework class group deriving from work dash cover dash commonly, but there is no relationship made between framework and implementation. Should it be there or not? Should it be there or not required? It should be there. Then only it can use from framework classes. Otherwise, it cannot use. So, the default PRPC deriving the framework class group from. So, when we create application, PRPC has created implementation class group and FW class group deriving from work dash classes simply directly as shown below. Now this wizard creation did not provide us inheritance between implementation class group and framework class. Did not provide us. Now I have to make it available. So what is the best approach to make it available is, now go to implementation class group. I will straight away tell you and then I'll explain. Straight away I'll show you. Now make the framework class group as parent to implementation class group. So open implementation class group. You know how to open it, right? If you scroll down, you see work dash cover dash. Now remove work dash cover dash. What should I keep there? Now remove work dash cover dash and place framework class. Let me show you. I am removing this. Click the down arrow. What is the framework? Hano FW. This is the one I want actually. Just hang on. Save. Will it be saved or not? Why it will be saved? Because framework class group parent is work dash. That means your implementation is also deriving from work dash. So in the diagram I'll show you. Now what I have done is I have removed this connector, right? I removed this connector. What did I do? I connected this way. Now your framework class group is deriving from work dash cover dash. It is satisfying the condition. Your implementation class group is deriving from framework class group, which is in turn deriving from work dash cover dash. That means your implementation class group is also deriving from work dash cover dash. That is also satisfied. Plus additional one layer you got in between. That is framework class. This makes sense, everyone. This is how the wizard used to create before versions. I don't know home version it is happening or enterprise also this issue is there. There is nothing wrong, but inheritance is missing, right? So I corrected the issue now. So inheritance should not be missing. So your implementation class group should be having the framework class group as a parent class. Framework class group is having the parent class as a work dash or children of work dash. Thus your implementation also having the parent class of as a work dash class. It's mandatory. It's not mandatory. Is it mandatory? If it is mandatory framework class group, it would have thrown error message. Yeah, you cannot use. That's why I changed it. This is how it should be created, but wizard has not created. So wizard, what we have done, it has not created, but this is how it should have been created. Before versions, it was working fine. 7.3, I believe, not 4. 3 onwards, I believe. I think it should not be issued in enterprise. They would have corrected it. They did not update the fix in home version. This is clear, everyone? So they are treating, separate applications, framework and implementation. So this is how your framework and implementation applications and the respective classes and the inheritance between framework and implementations also being done. Okay. Simply what we have discussed is types of inheritance and inheritance between framework and implementation we have established, and mandatorily class group should have work dash as a parent class or children of work dashes. These are the 4 points which we have discussed in today's class. So any doubts in what we have done so far? Everyone clear with this? Did everyone understand why this structure should be changed like this? Everyone understand why the structure I have modified than what is being automatically created? Everyone understand this? Online resources, Dante and others.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
So the are both of those classes concrete now? The implementation and framework?
Sorry, what is that?
Is the framework concrete or abstract? The
framework class group, right? Framework class group you're asking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, framework class group is abstract or concrete? Online or offline resources? What it should be? Generally, with your understanding, you tell me.
So concrete.
It should be concrete because it is a class group, right? It must be concrete only. That means here also your instances will be created, but we will talk about it later. See, with our development proceeding forward, everything will get in framework only. Initially, later we'll go to implementation and work on it. First, we'll maintain most of the data. We'll maintain in frameworks only. Later, we'll do it in implementations. Okay, this is clear, everyone. So some of the definitions we need to understand before we proceed with practicals, and then you can better understand practical concepts. This is clear, everyone. Online resources. Any questions, any doubts? So it will be very easy to understand while you are in the class. Once after you get out of the class and open the document and see, little bit confusion will be there. You need to sort out the confusion slowly. Okay. So you need to sit and take some time, and then if you read it as it is in the document, definitely it will not be understandable. The way how I am accessing in the UI, you have to access it and then see and then draw your own diagram. Understand, you will remember forever. Okay. Simply you read the document, after 10 days you will forget everything. Okay. So remember that. So let's proceed and look at working on the requirements implementation for our transactional processing. So how your development proceeds, I will tell you. The development proceeds this way. So we have UI, we have logic, we have DB, and we have process, right? So we'll work on independently. We are going to work on UI. Tomorrow we are going to work on UI. Tomorrow is Wednesday, right? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, again Monday. 4 days we'll work on UI only. After that, we'll work on table alone. I'll tell you how to create a table and all. Okay, it's not queries and all. Okay, and 1 day. It will not take more than 1 day. And logic 1 day. After that, we'll integrate everything. Either of these we are doing, there will be process definitely being used. Okay, so we see UI alone without any business logic, without bothering about any business logic, without bothering about databases and all. Means querying, creating database tables and all. We are not going to bother initially. UI alone will work on. After 3 days or 4 days, we'll look at table. After 1 day, we'll look at logic and we'll integrate UI with logic and database. Everything integrated will do. This is the procedure we are going to follow. We are going to work on vehicle insurance application. As I have already told you, vehicle insurance application. What you have to do is, you have to go to my website, Harsha Trainings, log in. Once you log in, you have search button. See, this search will not work without login. Remember that. Once you log in, you have to go to search. When you go to search, you type car rental application. I'm sorry, what is that? Oh, I did not log in, right? You log in. When you log in, you type car rental application. You can make a note if you want to make. You will get one document of requirements. Download the document or copy the requirements into your own laptop. You start creating that application also. Same framework implementation. You start creating. There are requirements written. Once we complete the class requirement, you have to do the same. Plus, you need to read the requirements in car rental application, understand it, imagine it, and do implement on your own. If you have any issues, you can check in group. This is clear, everyone? So this is the functionality wise, both applications are different when you go to internal functionalities, but mostly the implementation, the way you implement is same as what we are doing. That's how the application requirements are written. This is clear, everyone? Everyone clear? Online resources.
Our homework is to log in there and start building that car application.
Yes, car rental application you start. Today what you have to do is the document, what we have discussed completely, you have to get it. You have to do it. After this is completed, you go with car rental application and create that and make the modifications of inheritance accordingly and then wait there. Next class completed, the same in the car rental application you have to complete. Like that you have to proceed 2 applications parallelly. No need to wait for anything. Okay. Day 1 itself your project starts. Clear? Everyone clear? You need to spend some time. Initial days you spend more time. Going forward the time you spend will be reduced. Suppose initial days you are neglecting, thinking everything is easy. Going forward you have to spend a lot of time. One day you cannot even understand what I am teaching if you are not regularly practicing and spending much time. Okay, you spend more time understanding more requirements and try to get more queries and then get clarified of what we have discussed. Okay, so for today we can wind up. We'll continue tomorrow. Thank you for joining, everyone, and I hope everyone is there, online or offline. You have done with your fees payments, right? Anyone is not yet done? Yasir, Vinisha, are you all done? Okay, I'm not required to check, no problem. Anyway, I'll not be sharing the ID. So you can wind up for today. Thank you very much for joining. Done. Okay, thank you. Okay, done. Thank you. So if at all anyone has not yet been done, you can complete it. If you want to do it now, you can do it. Hanover.